Hello everyone, I hope you're having a phenomenal day today. We have the first playoff semifinal match between Rank 3 12th Virginia and the Rank 6 Missouri State Guard on the Eastwood Skirmish. We'll be playing this map both rounds. Thank you to our Patreons for the support. If you'd like to support, go beneath the video and hit the link to the Patreon where you can get behind the scenes videos and videos before everybody else. Here's the current look at our bracket. We are on the bottom right side between 12th VA and MSG. The winner will play IVB in 2 weeks. Our teams for tonight on the CSA side for round 1, USA round 2. We have Missouri State Guard, 5th Virginia, Irish Volunteer Brigade, 9th Corps, 1st Virginia Cavalry, Graves Battery, and the Jackson's Division, whereas on the Union side round 1, CSA round 2, we have 12th Virginia, Sussy Light, 30th Ohio, 8th Mississippi, and the Colquitt's Brigade. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful night. Today we have the Missouri State Guard versus 12th Virginia. We're here live on the battlefield. The playoffs is starting, it's great. So a couple of days ago we put a YouTube poll out asking who people thought would win this matchup. 63% of people said 12th Virginia was going to win, so 12th VA, CSA round 1, USA round 2.
Tell you what, man, FuseWall has got a good head on his shoulders. He makes the most in-depth plans. I'll tell you what, maybe it's a little bit unneeded sometimes, that big plan, but it can't hurt, and the plans are well thought out. Typically, I'm against making huge, long, thought-up, convoluted plans, but they're long. I won't say they're convoluted, though. On Miller's Cornfield a couple weeks ago, he may have lost, but I'll tell you what, he made a good plan, and it was an entertaining match.
I agree with that. Speaking of that, Bus, introduce yourself. We got anything else?
Haunts.org.
Here we go. We also got Corded with us.
You're looking to join me.
Hello, hello, hello.
And Pratly should be joining us at some point tonight, so it'll be great. So looking at our CSA, the 12th VA side, their defense plan, you got 12th VA and 30th Ohio holding very far back in the woods, kind of on this road. It looks like they're just trying not to engage the Union. On the other hand, you have Sussy Light and 8th Mississippi, a new regiment who joined this. They broke off of MSG, so tensions rising high here as MSG is fighting to advance to the quarterfinals. Who is this tiny group in the center? We have Graves Battery up here. They're kind of skirmishing. Graves Battery balanced over. And speaking of that, our numbers are 4 off. Praise GB for balancing over, or else it would be like a 15 to 20 man in balance.
Skulls to the skull throne. That's what's most important to what's his face, as he always says.
Panzer. So MSG looking like they're taking the what type of guns are these? I just know they shoot really fast, or they reload fast. The Sharps.
Sharps rifle.
So they are taking the Sharps rifle, and they are going down this left side, engaging with their former comrades. The rest of the Union team, though, that being looks like 9th Corps. I see JD, IVB, 5th VA. Most of the Union team is on this right side. 1st VA Cav here. Where's 1st VA Cav shooting? And I think they're trying to hit friendlies. I kind of want to look. I'm gonna look in chat quickly, see if we any team kills. Yeah, they got 1 or 2 team kills, but it happens. It happens. So the Union looks like they're gonna continue their push. IVB up front. You also, I'm guessing 5th VA, their star up in front. But IVB is really the closest Union group to a CSA force.
Why tell me to back up? Because everybody's like.
Looks like maybe some CSA movement in the distance. That movement being by FuseWall Jackson, trying to scout where the enemy is. Little do they realize they're right in front of their face. GB.
Yeah, 12th VA and 30th Ohio on that left side for CSA.
There's some shots. 12th VA is trying to hit IVB in the side. And IVB is just going to straight up charge him.
Good idea from IVB.
30th Ohio trying to get in here at the flank as well. A lot of smoke. I'm guessing CSA is going to win this, though. They're actually continuing to push out into the corn. It looks like maybe, yeah, they're hitting JD and 9th Corps on the side.
Some more CSA movement coming in towards that side. More CSA reinforcements about to flood in there, I believe.
Indeed, they are. So Union's actually winning this charge, wiping Corn Brigade and 12th VA, but here comes the 59th New York.
The rest of Sussy Brigade coming in as well.
Union guy. Get into him. He's dead.
Kind of a slow charge. You got Brutus here as an officer going in, getting 1 kill before going down in the end. So really, they're really the only remaining group. You have some MSG guys. You have 1st VA Cav, though, in the corn. They are trying to do the trick. 59th New York charging out at them, though. I really don't like what the 59th New York's doing. Actually, it might be... My only concern is if they're dying out of line and such. Because, I mean, CSA, they're winning on tickets right now. There's really only 3 Union guys left.
Pull back so your guys are information. Make sure you
And Private Money here. We've seen him a lot here. What a guy. And he goes down. But on the other side of the map, we really haven't seen much action. You have these 1st Missouri guys, the skirmishers of MSG.
You want to try and
been
win
sitting
this
here
as
shooting.
CSA, obviously, but you know you want to stay. You don't want to waste your tickets too much at this point right here because you want to run that black timer down as much as you can. Really.
Exactly.
You can't play the aggression game unless you're looking to win it.
And the big thing with this too is if 12th VA wins 1 and MSG wins 1, we go down to the tiebreaker rules, and the clock matters for that entirely, which we'll explain in a moment after we're kind of seeing what the Union forms up here. You got IVB forming up on the right side. You see some 5th VA guys, a 6.
You got GB coming right at him. Well, almost.
One man has a mission here.
Well, the
Sevy's
rest of
gonna
them are
touch him.
defense.
Sevy sees him
CSA is
turn
doing
around.
good so far. That push on the left, if they had done a little bit better, they'd be more ahead. I think the Corn had some skirmishing deaths in there that kind of put them even.
Yep.
There's quality. I think CSA is showing a little bit more skill here than the Union in terms of melees and possibly shooting, but we haven't seen too much shooting so far. But the melee went good for CSA, but skill isn't always going to win you the game.
Yeah, and shooting had just started. IVB getting up on this half stone wall, taking shots at the 30th and 12th VA. A lot of smoke here in the woods, kind of hard to see, but you kind of get the idea of what's going on. IVB, though, really unsupported. The only group supporting was 5th VA off to their left side.
CSA moving out again from right side. CSA right side. Sussy's moving back into the forest.
Looks like they're trying to reinforce him. Maybe Union could try to hit him on this left side. However, it looks like JD is just going to go right behind where IVB is. But 9th Corps is kind of going out this far left side. They maybe hit the CSA force that's moving in as they're coming across. We'll see.
I'll tell you what's putting them on a deficit right now. 11 guys in artillery. 11. On a map where artillery is not that important, and it's not going to do you much good. That's insane. 11 guys on artillery. It's not. I'm not saying it's useless here, but
You are.
yoink. You need those
Really
guys in
good.
the melee.
The only real good shot the artillery has is toward that CSA right corner that they try and hold. But right now there's not much CSA really there. So if you sent one of the Union to the left, that would force CSA to be in range of the guns, and that would actually give those 11 people a use.
So it
Right
looks
now
like,
they're not going to be shooting into the woods.
looks like 8th MS tried to charge out MSG maybe on the right side, and MSG held because 8th MS got wiped. And the Union is about to force the CSA down to breaking. 59th engaging with JD. So JD is trying to fall back. This quartermaster sergeant is trying to get his guy back. But Union, again, kind of getting pushed off. A huge part being that artillery, though, shooting into the woods, hitting short. 9th Corps is going in all by themselves, though. Oh my, that artillery shot, I don't even know where it went. It just went off. So 9th Corps guys running up, getting a quick volley off the running back. Half of them getting wiped though.
Yeah,
do
great
not like
shots
that.
there. Great shots.
But IVB and 1st VA Cav kind of sitting on the other side of the corn shooting. So while we have a little bit of downtime, it looks like Union winning that top left side of the map from Union perspective. The tiebreaker rule. So 12th VA wins one and MSG wins one. Essentially how this will work is we will look at the total time that each side attacked. That's determined by how much the black timer ticks down. So during the counterattack phase, when the black timer doesn't tick down, and the jump from braking to final push, that does not count to your total time. And so if the attacking team wins both times, resulting in a 1-1 overall, whoever has the quickest attacking time wins. If the defending side wins both times, whoever has the shortest defending time. So basically, quick aggression is encouraged. Just being aggressive overall is the encouraged play style of this event. Confederates hitting engaged at about the 33-minute timer. My Union's about to hit that as well. So
We had some Confederate friendly fire here in the forest that was prolonged for a bit there. I don't know if you saw any team kills on there. But...
We probably see him in the chat, but one thing that is interesting is 9th Corps IVB JD. They've kind of pushed right next to the point on the coin. You can kind of see the point going down in favor of the Union right now. Corded, was there something you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say it is worth noting that the Union team either has Sharps rifles or 1842s. So it's either Sharps or bucking balls for these guys. So it's very, very advantageous that they're either going through the corn or in these thick woods and forcing those encounters.
Does the CSA have any of those guns?
Probably. They might have some bucking ball.
Which one's bucking ball? The Texas regiments have bucking ball.
Well, either way, all the Union pretty much has it. So they're going to love being close.
Union artillery hitting right next to their teammates. It looks like artillery from Union team killed their friendlies. But here comes 12th VA. They're pushing very far forward.
That one got close.
Stopping that.
Yep. 12th VA getting nice shots on IVB, getting about a 4 there. 5. Also on JD as well. Here comes 5th VA. They're reinforcing. So I find the 5th VA or the 12th VA strategy interesting here, that they kind of conceded most of the map. Union hitting engaged. It's not going terrible for them right now, but it's quite interesting. You have Bussy here from 12th VA just running and dying. You also have a 1st Maryland guy, old Dragoon officer. I added the officer in. If you know, you know. So 12th VA is really just trying to ignore any close action melee-wise.
You want to?
Never mind. They're kind of charging. FuseWall went forward.
Don't charge.
No, they don't want to charge. Great kill by Bus.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was surprised I killed him. I was trying to save that friendly guy that was coming up, but it didn't work. This is an intense match so far. It's pretty good here on the ground. Bullets flying overhead. CSA seems well coordinated, but also a couple Rambos not ruining it for them. I think they're getting caught up in this crossfire here, and Union is just ripping them.
Indeed.
But you don't want them to stop that black timer. That black timer is important here.
Yeah, so
it's going to completely change up 12th VA's plan, though, if they lose it earlier.
That does make sense. And I don't know why MSG isn't trying to tell their team to cap, because, I mean, they're capping now, but some of you might be wondering, what's MSG doing? Why are they just sitting all the way back up here on top of the hill? My guess is so that their leader can get an overview of the field. Because that's a big thing. As a general of your whole team, right? I mean, MSG, they're in charge of 140-ish people right now. You got to be alive at all times and know what's happening at all times. And so that's probably why MSG is up there.
You see 8th Mississippi trying to get that right side back. They tried to do it before and they got They were repulsed by MSG.
I
But now MSG's moved closer to the point, so 8th Mississippi might have a chance here. MSG's moving back to meet him, though.
MSG might be a little late. 8th MS, they need to go up all the way. Not all MSG's going back, only some are. 8th MS has got to go up.
Yeah, I think if they don't let him cap here, I'm looking at a CSA going to last stand around 11 minutes. Maybe letting him cap is a good idea.
I mean, CSA could try to be ultra aggressive. I mean, whenever a team's caps, you have to be aggressive. It does not matter if you're trying to push the attackers, now the defenders, in the last stand, or you're trying to retake the point quickly. Aggression is required. But here we go. Union cap the point. That black timer is stopped. That's what the attackers want.
We'll see if this is good for the CSA. I mean,
Exactly.
really got to go forward.
Yeah, if CSA can quickly recap, they can probably gain a good half a morale stage in tickets.
Yeah,
Assuming
as
they win.
defenders on this map, you don't want to prolong this map because the sun's going to go down towards the end of it. So it's going to be pitch black and even closer quarters than we see in the corn or in the forest here, because no one's going to see you killing really.
Then, speaking of aggression, 12th VA doing exactly what we need. You see 59th New York trying to hit the Union team from behind. And here we go. CSA trying to charge through the corn directly at their front. 59th New York, you can kind of see him hitting from behind. And right now, CSA is overwhelming this position. It's not even close. The only really remaining group, you have IVB here. They kind of pulled a bull run. Yeah, IVB's going straight into the woods. They're spreading themselves out. CSA is winning this. I think a big thing that we see is 1st VA Cav was not a part of that Union position. I don't think. No, it's actually someone 9th Corps. Sorry.
They need to push the right side again. Get that back.
Oh, for sure. I think
Is
what
there
you
gonna-
want here as CSA is kill that many Union, because if you're trying to get tickets back, you don't want to bring their tickets down. You want to bring yours up by not killing them until you capture it.
Exactly. I don't.
I always
Sorry, you go.
go for it. No, go for it.
This CSA right, Union left. MSG's just held this position. 8th MS has gotten wiped twice now on this side. I don't know why 8th MS is continuing to hit this position. They are really a deficit on the CSA right now.
Looks like the whole Union team's rushing out of spawn to get to that snake fence.
That's smart.
Right on the point.
No,
They
I'm
could light
guessing
'em
they're
up,
going to
man.
hold the corner.
Yeah, they're
I
going
mean,
to get
now-
their positions back.
You shrank this time, 12th VA. If they hit last stand soon enough, they're gonna have to really get aggressive, because this is not that great of a time so far. I mean, we'll see how it goes in the future, but you want to try and get it at least 10, 11 minutes with this tiebreaker rule. Because that'll give you a pretty good chance. You don't want to go too soon. Engaged at 28, or basically taking losses at 28. It's not great.
Yeah, well, I mean, Union did exactly what they need to do. Sure, they're at even level tickets-wise.
They're coming in again here.
But Union coming in at the right time, and they're just going to recap the point right away.
Yeah, they really need to take back this whole road and fence line, because then they're going to have to force the Union to come straight across the open field. And that's kind of the only advantage you're going to get as CSA on this map.
Yeah. Union's playing this pretty well right now. If CSA doesn't keep retaking, if they don't retake the positions they need to kind of hold this, CSA, the only way I see them winning is trying to push the Union in the last stand after they cap.
I mean, all in all, they just need to win on tickets.
Yeah, that's also too. But they got to
Yeah.
retake those positions, as you said, or else we're just going to keep watching what we're seeing right now. And I don't think this was mentioned before, but 12th VA being the higher rank 3, they got to choose this map, so some grand plans, we'll see. But here we go. Point is about to be capped. 12th VA is starting to move out right now through the corn. It'll be intriguing to see where the rest of their friendlies go, but it looks like 12th VA is more of a flanking force trying to be quiet here. First VA Cav is actually kind of behind the whole CSA team right now. And 59th New York's going to charge them. This might, first VA Cav, I don't know if they're supposed to be over there, but it might help. Because they're pulling off CSA
straight in.
A lot of shots there.
They're not getting much immediate support, though.
No. And that's partially because first VA Cav pulled 59th New York off, because 59th New York just went right at first VA Cav. Here comes Corn Brigade now.
They can't let them cap this again. You don't want to waste all these tickets.
CSA is winning on the corn right now, but a lot of Union remain on point.
There's still a bunch of CSA left back in the woods.
I know. I don't get what they're doing right now. Who is back here?
8th Mississippi's far back there.
Yep.
GB's firing from the log pile.
Yeah.
I mean, GB, you know, that's just a couple of guys, but 8th Mississippi, that's a big portion of them.
GB's got five guys, or almost that much. That would be helpful in a charge, at least.
So
who's leading Mississippi?
8th Mississippi, Mike. They just broke off from MSG.
Okay, well.
So both sides taking losses. Union finally prevailing here in the corn. CSA need to move out now. They are closer to the point, at least as of now. Maybe not anymore, as we see the whole Union team. They're just gunning it right for the point. We might see an upset today.
Possibly, but hey, man, it's just going to encourage FuseWall to cap that point faster.
Exactly.
I think that it really it's nicer to attack first in this kind of tiebreaker thing, because you can set the precedent as to, or actually, sorry, I take that back. Nicer to defend first. You got to put up a good defense, though. I would, like this map, I would focus your defense more heavily around the point, because you can sustain a decent amount of losses if you hold that point. If you cut them off, man, the Union can't get that great of a position. They're not going to destroy you right away.
So wait, Bust, you thought that it's better to be the attacking team first?
Defending, because you can
Okay.
set the time.
That's so true. I agree.
I said it first. I said the attacking first, but I was mistaken in my own words. So I'm, you know.
And GB guy just ran straight in.
Oh. So 9 minutes and 4 seconds. Union's charging. IVB is charging the CSA.
They're charging a lot of CSA, actually.
I think they're trying to bring everyone's tickets down. My concern, though, is because Union's kind of spread out here. They might lose more tickets, and then obviously CSA's still down. So, but CSA should countercharge, unless they're. I mean,
They've got a good chance.
They should charge regardless. You just wiped out IVB. Of course, you don't know that, but it's a lot of Union that just went. It
They need
died.
to go get aggressive and knock out the point.
Artillery missing. It's kind of a close shot, surprisingly.
Probably about as well as you expect in this map.
Exactly. So 8 minutes left on this gold timer. I'm very intrigued why FuseWall is having the 12th VA and his team sit back and not charge. I mean, if we kind of go in this overview position, CSA can really put up a decent fight. They maybe even outnumber the Union. But the longer they wait, these respawns are going to get back in there. And so I don't know what they're doing, but time will tell. Artillery actually got a kill there and knocked a decent amount of people down. Look at that. It's probably the first shot you've seen in your life on this map. Hit in the woods.
Guys, clean up the line.
So 7 minutes. Union reinforcements have arrived. FuseWall has to try to... I think he's trying to knock the Union in the last stand. I don't know.
He's not gonna do it. I'm just shooting.
If anything, you're
In
just
6
driving...
minutes, you have to wipe them out. Like at least twice.
Also, a late joiner here, but glad to have him. Pratly is now with us announcing.
Hello, yes, I am here, and happy to be here. I'm in a hotel currently, so if my Wi-Fi sucks, that's why.
Huzzah to that.
Give us your artillery opinions for Eastwood skirmish.
It's a waste of time, total waste of time.
There you go.
Who's on
You're
it?
here first, folks.
Like, I think there's a lot of good that you can do with artillery on a lot of maps, but I think on this map, you are totally blind firing, and with the Union in the positions that I see them in right now, I don't see how you are going to get any effective shots into those woods.
Union actually just got one great artillery shot in here. Killed one and maybe knocked over like 5-6 people, but that was one shot.
And I will also say, I'm confused as to how we've ended up in this position, because this is like the exact opposite of what the Confederates want on this map.
Yeah. I don't know what 12th VA is planning here. I don't know what FuseWall is thinking for the CSA defense. Because if anything, well, just next round, 12th VA is just going to have to be super aggressive as Union, but...
Right now, they are outnumbered by 16. But then again, they have artillery. So they're kind of outnumbered by 5.
That is very,
That is a
very
significant outnumbering.
You know, I should have clarified that in the imbalance rule.
Almost like you did.
Did I?
But I mean, either way, Confederates are in a mess of a situation right now. The Confederates, I actually think this map is somewhat CSA biased if they are capable of holding fence lines. If you hold the fence lines as the CSA, this is a really tough map for Union to attack. You're running across the open into a fortified position and you just get slaughtered.
Yeah, they let them have
Yeah, they let him have it, and it's.
Yeah.
I was talking about that earlier. Really need to have that point there. Yeah. So I'm back. My girlfriend just got pulled over by a state trooper, and I was telling her that she was basically fucked and is gonna get a ticket. There's no way out of getting out of state trooper.
I was riding the edge on getting a ticket, trying to get to the hotel in time to announce.
Yeah, it's 85 and a 65, which really isn't that bad. I don't know why she got pulled over for that. That's kind of ridiculous.
I was doing 90 earlier.
Yeah, I do 100.
Dude, they're just committing the crimes on this.
Well, it's ridiculous. 85 and a 65 in an interstate. How are you going to pull over someone for? It's not even over 20. Over 20 on an interstate, I get that, but it's not over 20. It's ridiculous.
Sorry. I
hate cops.
They'll pull you over for like 15 or 10 if you're
no,
in
not in
that kind of
South
place.
Carolina. I typically get pulled over for like over 20, something like that on the highway.
So here's
I
my
don't know.
question about this game. Even if CSA, number one, I don't think CSA has the time to break Union down to last stand at this point. But even if they do get them there, I don't think they have a strong enough position to actually be able to push the Union off the point in the final push timer.
Not with the forces they got right now.
No, it's definitely. What was that artillery shot? But
I want to
here they
clarify.
go.
I don't hate all cops. Okay, I just you know,
Bus is like.
I don't want to
Oh, here
trigger
they go.
people.
Yeah,
I'm already divisive enough.
9th Corps just took all their shots though, so this might be huge. I mean, even if there's a 15-man imbalance, the rule doesn't apply. We've seen a balance within 10 for a good portion of the match, so that rule will not apply. And we'll fix
I
it
don't
out.
think that charge is going to make much difference because I think they killed a lot of 9th Corps guys, but the rest of the Union all now are getting onto that fence line.
This is going to be kind of close here. Charging's happening everywhere, in the corn, in the woods.
The issue is, though, with this new update, charging fences is really tough these days, and the Union has the fence line.
How long we had the update? Like almost a year coming up on
CSA are
that,
winning.
probably. For the vaulting.
Was it that
CSA
long ago?
Probably not that long ago, but in several months we've had it.
I took a while off, in fairness, so I'm still relatively recent to it.
The CSA needs to rush point.
But
They can just send it from their spawn.
is
they're
Union
closer.
trying to get here fast? No, are they?
I don't think
No,
they should. I think they should just get back on the fence lines and let CSA have it and have 26 minutes to attack them at breaking.
I agree,
Mhm.
but Union's bomb rushing to point. Or maybe they're not. We'll see what they stop.
Yeah,
but
so I think a lot of those guys were left over. They didn't get involved in the first charge. So I think those guys will get killed out there. And actually, that will be good for Union because it will put CSA lower in breaking when they get that ticket boost.
So I think CSA needs to just rush up to the fence. Just clear the point off, but don't cap it. But just have it behind you so you can fall back to it.
Are they stopping?
Oh
Are they,
my
no,
gosh,
they're going. They're going.
Backing off.
It
CSA's
doesn't look like
backing off of it.
CSA's. They're trying to get them to last stand, and it's just not going to work here. They've got a minute and a half to do it, and Union just breaking.
The thing is if they can do it, they got to force an overtime, but they got to be near point. And
But
they're
yeah,
not.
and with the new overtime, the newer overtime rules, it's a lot harder to maintain a long overtime now than it used to be. All
CSA
Union has to
basically
do
has
is have the
unlimited
majority
tickets
on
right
point
now.
for a short while.
So there's no disadvantage to them sending, because they can't really waste tickets here.
Yeah, CSA right now has infinite tickets. Your tickets don't matter. You're going to be at breaking regardless. Go. Because CSA is going to hit final push next if you don't know. And in that stage, you have infinite tickets, just a limited time. So CSA just needs
They're
to
finally capping now. They're capturing
I
it.
know, just need to get on there.
And if
Like,
Union's
like,
smart, they'll
piss
just
them
let
off.
them cap it and then just blast them off point as soon as they can.
But we'll see what MSG does.
CSA needs to cap it, but they might as well kill some Union while they're here.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if I agree with that, to be honest. I think
No,
capping
I
it
don't
sooner
know.
with Union higher in breaking is better for them because they'll have
Well,
more
they need
tickets.
to do it now. They need to get their the Union's tickets down so they can force a final push soon. And if they can push the Union off before they have to cap the point, which doesn't
Yeah,
really matter
Union
now,
did a
they
smart
could've-
thing of stopping before point there when they
They,
came back
yeah,
up.
they could have pushed up to the fence and then regained that control, and then it'd have to force Union to cross the open field. But now they can't really do that.
So Confederates will now have to win by forcing the Union into final push first. And based on where everyone's positioned, I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, the CSA is in an infinitely worse position right now, halfway through their breaking, well, not quite halfway through their breaking morale state, but, you know, they're basically in the open shooting against fence lines against a team that has, you know, way more tickets than they do.
At this point, they might as well just push up, because there's no point in doing the same
Their
thing.
only
they're
hope
doing,
is to
but in
try
a
and
worse
kick
position.
Union into final push first somehow and then hold the fence lines. If they did a huge charge now, actually won the charge decisively and then pushed up to the fence lines, they might actually be able to hold it. I mean, I've
they
seen
can do it.
a lot of games
can
on
easily
Eastwood
win this
Skirmish
nicely.
actually end where the Union can't get there in final push because the fence lines are so difficult.
'Cause they should be able to see a bunch of Union coming out of their spawn.
And they are winning on tickets in this engagement. Union's dropping down more than they are.
Well, they might be winning now, but once they go to final push in the last stand, they're going to lose
I think
quickly.
that artillery actually hit CSA spawn, but there was no one there.
Yeah. Did that just?
Right now, CSA is just letting the Union get closer to them with their sharp rifles and bucking ball.
Don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, and you would think once Union sort of reorganize a little bit here, I don't know why Union are on this fence on the edge of the cornfield. I think they should be on the fence on the left side of the field where they actually have cover against these shots. They're getting shot in the open here from the side.
Alright, yeah. I mean, you have 26 minutes. You don't need to be so far forward and aggressive. Plenty of time, of course.
And actually, they are down on tickets here. I think if I was the CSA in this instance, I think you know you're in a losing situation if it goes final push, last stand in these positions. If I was CSA, I would charge the Union now, try and kick them out, hold the fence lines. Final push versus last stand, if CSA has those fence lines, is still a winning engagement for CSA, in my opinion.
I agree.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. This is so weird. The up and down, kind of like this, is also based off the speed of your camera movements. You can kind of go like really fast. It's still trying to get used to that, but yeah, 9th Corps guys are kind of moving forward, but Union's gonna hit final push first. But the big question is can CSA survive long enough?
I don't think it will matter because of where the CSA is positioned. I think even if Union hits final push, they are closer to the point right now, and they have cover that they can use to shoot CSA apart when they hit last stand.
Sevi running some IVB guys up forward, but they're just dying out of line. I don't know. Union
is
seems a little
possible.
disorganized.
It is possible for the CSA to still win. I mean, eventually they are going to have to push.
I agree. They are winning this engagement on tickets fairly decisively right now.
Hey, Joe Buzz. Hey, you guys are on point.
I don't know because for the
And
past couple.
where is the rest of Union? Because that is not the whole Union team.
No,
on that
this
fence
has been
line right
happening
now.
for like 4 minutes now. The Union has been dying a lot right here, and they just keep running in from spawn. This has been happening.
I don't know why they're not just using the snake fence on the edge of the open field. I think that's the far better position to be in here.
I mean, Union's...
Because they're getting shot straight down the fence line where they have significantly less cover.
So final push, 3.5 minutes. CSA getting very excited here. I mean, I don't know if Union's going to be able to form up and have a good enough push based on the way we've watched this encounter. Union artillery knocking down their own guys. But Union doesn't have enough to muster a force.
Another thing is, CSA aren't going to get any respawns if they stay alive right here. So if they...
I think CSA should charge at this point just before they hit last stand, get into a melee, kick the Union off this position, and give them 2 minutes to get back there with you on the fence line.
Yes, and then CSA is going to get their instant respawns from winning the last stand.
IVB is going in with JD as well.
And this is what Union needs to do at this point. This should put the CSA down to last stand if they get into a significant melee, and then they'll actually have time to push them down. But they have done almost no casualties in that push. They got totally destroyed on that initial push. And the rest of Union is not going with them. That was IVB only there.
Yeah, what the heck?
But now they have 2 minutes. CSA are standing in a big fucking line in the open. Union should be able to just drop them down to about half their manpower and then take the point. Like, there should be no reason for Union to not win at this stage.
Yeah, Union's pushing some more guys forward. You see some JD, first VA Cav guys going onto the point. Tickets really don't matter at this point, so 2 minutes left.
And CSA, no doubt, are doing a good job here in terms of their firepower. They are putting down a lot of Union men here, but I think this is poor play from Union to keep clustering in this one spot where they know they're getting killed.
Yeah. You're not capturing. Sorry, I'm just replying to people in game. So it looks like I can't tell if Union's trying to charge because a couple guys.
Yeah,
go
Union's
forward
trying to push onto the point now. I think the best
What is
spot that
Union
they can be
doing?
on point is crouching on the low stone wall. They should be crouching on the low stone wall. You can cap from there.
How many CSA? CSA has so many guys. Union's fumbling this bag so hard right now. They've had so much time. Here come a lot of respawns, though. Those IVB guys especially who died in that charge. So maybe Union will go now. 1 minute left.
I think Union's going to lose this because they just have not organized in this latter stage of the game, and it's a real shame. It doesn't make sense to me from a Union perspective, you know, because they have the overwhelmingly superior position, but they keep going into the weakest part of that position.
I don't like where 30th Ohio is. They're putting themselves right in front of Buck and Ball. But 30 seconds
30
left.
seconds to go, and there's a lot of Union who aren't even up there. I don't think Union's going to have the majority in terms of manpower on the point.
Yeah, CSA just needs more guys on point at the 0-second timer. 20 seconds remaining.
Union has to go now. They have to get all their forces onto the point now if they want any chance of getting this to overtime and getting the win here.
And they're not going still.
Wow.
They're
No
still
one's
not
moving.
going. They're sitting back.
Matter.
All right,
CSA are going to win this game.
I think
Oh, here they come.
perhaps there is a thought from Union here. Well, they're going now, but it's too late. They don't have the manpower.
Wow, what a win by 12th VA in this
That's
first
the
round.
victory, baby.
I would say perhaps there is a thought from the Union here that this map is usually, in my experience at least, I don't know if you guys would disagree with me. Usually I think this is a fairly straightforward CSA win, unless the Union have a almighty push and manage to break through your line quickly, and maybe they're thinking they can hold on to it for longer as the CSA than this CSA team did.
Yeah. Pratly, any more thoughts for this first round?
Well, obviously I joined a little late, but that was a very strange second half of the round. What I saw, you know, those positions are abnormal for that game, and I think Union just did not capitalize on the overwhelmingly advantageous position that they'd secured early in the game.
Corded?
Yeah, I think if I think if Union had their guys on Artie just with their infantry, it would have been a much easier map for them. In the beginning, I think they did really good, just trying to push up and be aggressive and get tickets out the CSA. But then, like towards the end, they like losing shootouts and everything against the CSA that was just kind of all lined up. Like even their Artie wasn't even hitting them. Even that gigantic line that you're never going to see ever again. But we'll see what they do.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Nice round.
Sorry. I'm talking to my girlfriend just now, but about the getting pulled over thing. But thank you, Pratly, for subbing in basically for me at the end there. I know I was talking a lot in the beginning, but what I saw really was a really coordinated CSA. I mean, they just won that outnumbered by 16. All those guys on battery really fucking hindered them, man. That is ridiculous from the Union there. It's held off a point. I'm sure Sevy's upset. Great job from the CSA. It's an easy point to hold, really, as defenders. It's not an easy map to win, but it's an easy point to hold there when you get that last stand moment. There's not really much of a way to take that on as Union unless you come from that corn. And even then, the CSA can flip on you. I mean, it's ridiculous, but yeah, it's a classic War of Rights match. That was really good. It was really fun to watch.
Yeah, congrats to 12th VA on that win. We'll see if MSG can come back and put on a better defense. Time will tell. We'll see you in the second round. Here we are live in the second round. So for your information, MSG had a total attacking time of 24 minutes and 59 seconds. So what that means here is that if MSG wins as the defenders, they need to win before the, what was the time mark, Pratly?
20 minutes and 1 second.
So MSG needs to win the game by 20 minutes and 1 second, assuming there's no final push timer hit. So it'll be fascinating to see. Great view of that volley. Artillery hitting short. That's, the one time CSA makes your artillery position useful, you miss. Thank you to the 51st VA for balancing over. It's within 8, but it's not the end of the world.
Pratly's guys, right? No, that's not Pratly's guys.
Pratly made it happen, though, so I appreciate it. But we got about 10 on artillery, so this is almost the same as last time in terms of balance. Just the balance, it was a lot more favor in Union last round, so that makes 12th VA's win more impressive. So the sides are switched as well, if you didn't know, but it should be great. Let's quickly look here at our CSA defense. You got 1st VA Cav on the far left side, 9th New York there from 9th Corps. IVB, they kind of ran out there, shifting back to their friendlies. And it looks like Union's actually going straight for this side.
CSA is not fully in position to repel that, but I don't think it's still going to take Union a while to get online there.
And CSA looks like they're just kind of giving up the position. I see the flag going back.
Well, and actually, I think that's smart. Given that they know they need to win in a faster time, the only way they're going to do that is to bait Union in and be able to win around the point.
Big chunk of CSA tickets here. Yeah. Bigger than what happened in the beginning of the CSA last match. Yeah, big chunk.
IVB just got wiped. They just went in by their own when their friendlies fell back.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Here comes 5th VA.
And a very small group coming into the flank who are going to get insta-wiped.
Sussy domination, man. It's FuseWall, leading, but sussy domination, man. You see it in every match.
And now we have 1st VA Cav. They're kind of sitting back. The rest of our CSA line, you got some 9th Corps guys that run around. Looks like they're just the aftermath of the charge. But on this right side, you have MSG holding again, having that high ground, and JD. So yeah.
But again, I think this is good for the CSA actually, because they have, if they need to win by the 20-minute mark, basically, they have to bait Union in to come and cap the point to slow the timer down.
So
well, they don't have to win by the 20-minute mark. They just have to win the match if they pass 20 minutes. If they win both matches, it's not like it goes down to the tiebreaker. It's only if they lose.
No, but what I'm saying is the CSA has to win by the 20-minute mark.
Oh, right.
The best thing they can do is get Union to come in, cap the point, stop the timer, and be able to fight it out in a more favorable situation.
Actually, the only way the CSA, well, I mean, CSA could let the Union cap and then push them in the last stand, and that would be crazy on its own. But I don't know if that's going to happen. But what is it? You said 20:01, and the counterattack or the final push timer is like 3 minutes and 23 seconds. So really, CSA needs to knock the Union down to final push by like the 23:30 second marker. But they have to do this effectively. 12th VA kind of slowly going through the corn. Rest of the Union volleying at the CSA. I think 12th VA trying to be deceptive. You could hear him be quiet. Holding in the woods. You have 1st VA Cav.
Alright, take aim to your front. North and northeast in the corn, steady.
Now my big question is, how far will 12th VA go? You have IVB shifting here in the woods. They're singing something. Oh, here comes 12th VA.
Oh, they got crushed.
Yeah, they did. More CSA pouring in. I think that was just more for the
Here comes
surprise.
the rest of the Union.
But here comes 30th
More
Ohio.
Union
They're actually getting
coming in.
engaged now. This is good for CSA if Union wants to engage.
This corn has been bad for the Union each time. See that those tickets evening out, spread out charge from the Union real bad. Not good. No bueno.
12th VA trying to be deceptive, I think, really hurt them. Because they win him all by
Bad
themselves.
idea. You just go full force on that corn, and you'll win most of the time.
Yeah, and unless you are 100% certain that there are not CSA on the other side of the corn, you can't go in with a smaller group and try and stealth your way around.
Look at this. Only 4 guys on those pans.
What is happening?
That's okay.
And yeah, the rest of those Union guys are getting encircled by JD here. They're encircled in the corn right now.
Mirror,
I wouldn't
we
really.
saw that.
I don't know if I'd call this an encirclement.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. 9th New York's kind of getting wiped out here by a larger sussy force. But more.
Pratly, what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna sit here and watch and then critique my guys afterwards.
IVB's returning to their original positions here. Union on head-on tickets, though. Not by a whole lot, though. Looking on the other side of this map, it looks like Union was able to claim this corner. MSG kind of falling back here. 8th MS taking this position. It's really funny. You have this 8th MS group that just broke off of MSG, engaging with MSG on this top side, while everyone else is fighting on the other side of the map. It's just kind of funny.
Why can't all these MSs and MBs and MWBs and MSGs stay together?
You know, man, because they're a bunch of stinky dum-dum heads. All right. I walked back my hating cops comment, but I'm not gonna walk this back. Mississippi is a stinky state. Okay.
You don't like Mississippi?
Mississippi is a stinky
But aren't some of the
state.
Missouri guys?
I've had bad experiences with that state every time I go to it.
And I've never been, so I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, man.
We believe in Bus here. That's why we have him on.
Yeah, that's gonna piss off a lot of Mississippi guys. Half this community is cops, so I walked back my comment about state troopers.
So you're just trying to be politically correct in that statement.
From Mississippi.
It's Mississippi, yeah, yeah.
And again, I think overall this is a net positive for the CSA. Yes, they lost tickets in those charges, but they're getting Union to come closer to them, which they have to do if they're going to win.
Oh yeah, but check out 12th VA here. They're heading into the strong point, the big fortress area, the snake fences on. You hit this. Well, here's the thing. You check on 12th VA's position here, Eagle, on that center side by the point. It's a good spot for Union if you also have Union in the corn. It can act as a nice little fortress there and not be on the point. But if it's just this one point here, you're gonna get shot up pretty soon.
But this is the position that I think Union should have been in the first game. They should have held that fortress position and had some of the guys in the corn, not everyone on that corn fence.
Oh, for sure.
You know, the great part about the tiebreaker rules as is since the defenders won the first round, the defenders in the second round need to have a quicker game to have a shorter overall attacking time for the other team. And so forces the defenders to actually be aggressive, which you normally don't see a whole lot.
On the flip side, what we typically see in these games is that one side sets the bar in the first game and then is able to kind of relax in the second game and slow things down.
You have to play to win if you play second match as defenders. You can't necessarily play for time as much unless you wrecked them on that first map.
Yeah,
they gotta play to win, and it makes it more fun.
last season when we were actually in the playoffs. That was the whole way that we addressed these games. Was we wanted to be attacking first. We asked Eagle to attack first every time that we played, and we tried to set as fast a time as we possibly could on a decent map, and then just slow things down as the defenders.
You made it what, 2 rounds through last season?
Oh, we were in the semis last season.
Oh, you were in the semis.
no, they won their first maps. I don't remember who, and then they played
against
IVB.
Colquitt's brigade on Colquitt.
Oh, right, and you guys won, and then faced IVB in Boulevard Heights.
Holy fuck!
But,
where are those chunks of tickets that just came out from? What was that?
So basically,
I think it was the middle. I think everyone got engaged in there.
Yeah. So what happened?
IVB went and wiped the 12th VA that was on that
That's
corner.
a fat chunk.
They're moving up, and
IVB lost a lot of men as well in there.
Yeah,
But
they
they
just wiped out
that whole fence line.
They wiped out so many Union, and the tickets are even again because of them.
And
Yeah,
that
The
was
tickets aren't even.
That was a
Yes,
major case of Union not communicating with each other there, because IVB got in on their flank, wiped the 12 VA, they didn't say anything, then they wiped the next unit and no one said anything, and then they wiped the unit all the way on the left and still no one had said anything.
I'll tell you what, it's looking on par with how the CSA was doing last match, but I think that the Union is still working together a little bit better. They're sticking together more. I mean, they got bigger groups on their team. That's the nature of it.
And
but
basically, they now have 10 minutes to get the Union down to final push if they want to win this. They have 10 minutes to get them to final push, which is just not going to happen unless they can make Union come and cap point, which Union has no intention of doing right now.
And why should they? Yeah, the Union shouldn't cap because it just stops that timer.
Union should push, though. Union should really push. Sorry.
Union doesn't have to. I mean,
I don't know, man. They gotta get aggressive here. I think you could have the same situation you had last time.
No, but the thing is that if
I think that whole situation was brought about by Union capping early last time, which I don't think they necessarily needed to do.
I don't think they need to do, but they still need to be aggressive here instead of getting shot
capping,
up, getting bounced.
I agree. Sooner or later, CSA will work out that the Union is all sitting in one narrow funnel here and just start shooting them from every
Oh, they
angle.
figured it out, man. I'm on the ground right now with Union. They're getting funneled hard.
Yeah,
it's not looking hot.
And you can see the Union tickets dropping pretty significantly here.
Yeah. So
capping can be great if you win as the attackers.
there's a melee here right now. There's a melee here. The center point.
Yeah, JD's pushing up here. The CSA on this right side are pushing up. But yeah, capping is great in this if you actually win as the attackers. MSG did not do that. They did not win. And I think that was their big thing because now it gives a huge advantage to the 12th VA side who's now attacking because this now forces MSG to kind of be the attackers again and be the aggressors.
But with significantly less tickets and the chance of going last stand.
Yeah. If anything, the Union could just sit back in their spawn, but that'd be kind of lame. That'd be really lame.
And I've always been in favor of punishing people for doing that in these events.
We should, the only concern, though, is that when you create rules around stuff like that, I guess you could make it very specific to the playoffs. That artillery shot just hit the middle of the group and did nothing. But, you'd have to make those rules very specific and like very. Like
well, I was of the opinion. I think I talked to you about it at one point, Eagle, that we should have you, given you're in charge of the event, acting as almost like a boxing ref and giving people warnings for not being combative.
I don't think Eagle's good enough at the game for that, man.
I
It'd be
agree.
like
Yeah,
having someone other than Herb Dean ref a UFC match. Well, actually, he stops fights early sometimes, but still, it'd be like having an unexperienced UFC referee.
I think it's hard for me to see because I'm looking through Eagle's stream right now. Is CSA ahead on tickets right now? It looks like they may potentially.
They're
be
about even.
They're about slightly. Union's actually kind of charging here, sussy here.
They're a little spread out though, and I think they're outnumbered here in the charging event line.
Yeah, not good. I mean, it's a hard position to be in because if they retreat, they're going to take a decent amount of losses. You might as well go do that, to be honest.
And it's going to give the CSA license to push up. And you know, actually, Union really can't hide on their spawn on this map because you have no cover in spawn. There's no way you can go where you can't be shot.
But those shots are so far away.
They are far. They are far shots for sure for Union if Union were to pull back from here. But you know, there's no way you can go where you are behind cover in the spawn.
There's really only one place the CSA can hide and not be killed, and that's the back right in the forest for the CSA. But really, anywhere else they can be charged out in their spawn. CSA can get charged out in their spawn. You can make it there with about 10 seconds left as a Union. You can do some real goddamn damage. And then the only other place is that forest, and that really sucks when you see some turtling stuff. But Union's doing all right. 29 minutes. On par to still win, but they got to play a little bit more
On
aggressive
par?
here, I think.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the CSA has 6 minutes to get into final push though, if they want to win. Like they have 6 minutes to go through 2.5 morale states.
Yeah, and we could
Well-
see 9th New York charging into the Union side, but they're just so outnumbered here.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Even if, okay, yeah, Union wins, right, if they go past this number.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because
Even
the
if-
tiebreaker rule would take effect. Even
Right.
if CSA
Yeah.
won,
I'm so stupid. I was thinking the other way around. I keep forgetting that Union lost the first match.
Yeah, because it
I
seemed
know,
like
it's
it seemed like
crazy.
they were in a no-lose situation.
Right. I keep forgetting. I wasn't really paying attention.
And you know, one of the interesting things about this rule set with the tiebreaker is it encourages, I think, Union to early cap the point, because or attackers to early cap the point, because it stops the clock and then you can win in a quicker time potentially. But on the flip side, if you early cap and it doesn't go right for you, it also puts you at more risk of actually losing the match
is crazy.
instead of winning.
Which is crazy to think about. But early capping, I mean...
Which is funny because back in the day, you know, a couple of years ago, early capping used to be a pretty meta thing to do, and now it's not good in almost any situation anymore.
I'm kind of... Earlier in this season, we saw how early capping was used, and then people would turtle. I liked how that was, like, overly used, and then it just kind of went away as the season went on. I don't know if people don't
Well,
like
that
it
was
or the
that was
overtime.
that was mainly the update that fixed the overtime.
Yeah, maybe, but it's like we went hardcore in that. I'm 100%. I think the devs watched that match.
I just think big games like these are just more exciting nowadays. I mean, it's...
Wow.
I wish that overtime thing was still in the game, to be honest. But I think it's still more exciting.
This is definitely more exciting.
And you know, in fairness, either way, this is not really a map where I've ever seen anyone turtle. You know, it's
That's right.
not really possible to do for
It's
the
hard to
CSA.
do. I've played defensively, and I've lost on purpose in Grand Campaign, and people called it turtling, even though they still got the win. But there still wasn't really a true form of turtling, because you're still in combat and you're still taking losses. Typically, in a true form of turtling, you're not just playing defensively, you're all the way back in your spawn, or you're in an area where you can't get shot. I think turtling has been a bastardized term. And
It's used for
around...
it's used for just playing defensively these days.
Yeah,
you can
it's
play
like,
defensively without
people,
turtling.
it's like people throwing around the word bigot nowadays. You know, there are bigots out there, but it's too often thrown.
Although,
around.
granted,
Yeah.
Bus, you are a bigot, so... you
Okay,
know,
yeah, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and argue. Sometimes I've said, you know, some things that I, you know, shouldn't say, but you know, small regiments are bad. You know,
Oh.
I mean, that's yeah, fair and understandable.
yeah. It's just maybe I'm bigoted in that sense.
If you
but,
are
you know.
a regiment that got balanced in this event, you're a small regiment. I'm kidding.
Tell you what,
For the most part. For the most part.
I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Here comes CSA's trying to charge
Eagle,
the Union
hate the police and
and small regiment
And also Mississippi.
and any regiment.
Who's gonna balance for you? Who's gonna keep you safe and balanced for you, Eagle?
Bus, my question is, if there's a Mississippi police officer, do those two things balance each other out, and then you
I'll
like
tell
them?
you, the main reason why I made that comment is because I hate paying my taxes to him. Okay, that's the main thing. Listen, I'm a strict, you know, hardcore communist libertarian. I hate paying taxes. You know, we should really abolish all taxes. Like, what's that guy?
Good job,
What's
Union
the-
Artillery. You got a
You
TK.
can, sorry to butt in here on this political rant, but
Okay, man.
you can
All right.
see
have-
CSA are now desperate and trying to end this thing, but
Yeah.
they have lost now no matter what, unless Union go and cap right now.
No way.
CSA are not going to get them into final
They have to
push
go, yeah,
within the
two
next minute and a
stages,
half.
1 stage per minute, guys. Come on, a world record, but
It's
yeah,
faster than that. It's even faster than that. They need to get them into last stand by 23:40, I think it is.
Yeah,
so
they
they have
are-
to do it in like a minute and a half, basically.
So I love how our commentary for about a fourth of this round so far has been not the match. It's a thing of beauty.
No, I don't think that's true. I think
I disagree. Yeah, I disagree.
Yeah,
and I,
I
also
think-
think it's a slower match. You know, once
That's fair.
things start taking
That's
place,
fair.
we'll talk.
We've had some good chemistry. This has been a good
It's
video so
been
far. I believe
phenomenal.
it's
I
been quite
agree.
entertaining.
So here comes CSA. They're mass charging in here. I don't know why we didn't see this earlier, but
Yeah, well, I mean, I think part of it is they finally actually lured Union into the forest where they can get to them easily.
But,
Oh yeah, now they're gonna touch them.
But why did we have like IVB charge out?
And we know that
earlier?
CSA likes to touch people.
Yeah.
It's all but confirmed now after this.
As a love is their touch is their love language.
So
And you know they're going to win this charge, but at this point, Union
look
has
how many
this in the
tickets
bag.
the
at this
Union
point.
lost. Look how many tickets the Union lost. They barely lost any from getting wiped.
And
I might have
what I
died out
hope we
along
see is once it reaches that time when Union knows that they've won on the fucking tiebreaker mechanic, I hope we see them then actually going for the win on the map.
Yeah, I mean.
Apparently there was a big artillery shot. I hear a bunch of woes around me by the Confederates. I don't know.
I wish. Oh dang.
Might have not hit me.
Maybe it was ironic woes.
Yeah, it might have been an ironic woe.
I'm kind of bleeding here.
A lot of them are short.
Yeah,
So
I'm
CSA is
Will
charging
CSA
out,
finally
yeah.
occupy the fence lines now?
Yeah, JD.
I'm happy that
D's
Union-
going
Well, I mean, CSA Union's gonna win this no matter what.
Yeah,
Union's
no,
gonna
they've
win,
won.
right?
They.
Well, 20 seconds. Technically, if they get them into last stand in the next 20 seconds, or final push. in the
There's
next 20
always a
seconds.
chance. There's JD running up, doing these independent shots and running back. Game changer here. You know, when you do running up, shoot, and run away, the ticket casualties go up by like 500,000%.
I agree. It's why it's the only thing I do with my unit.
So
You know, as I was once quoted saying after we had a very bad charge, that was the perfect 9th New York charge. We had minimum effectiveness and maximum casualties.
Is it because the real regiment was heavy in casualties at Antietam?
Oh yeah, just charge up the hill and hope that they'll retreat.
How many people? How many?
I forget,
casualties?
but they made it the furthest in the day, so that's the important thing.
Yeah. Oh, were they engaged for a really long time?
No, as in like they were the furthest forward of any Union.
Oh,
regiment
okay,
in the
okay.
day. And then they retreated.
So
Delaware took a hefty amount of casualties at Bloody Lane and Roulette. It's hard. They were getting friendly fired.
You mean Bloody Lane saw heavy casualties?
what?
What?
I didn't see that coming. 12th VA, they're advancing to the quarterfinals. They'll be playing against the IVB.
Unless Union captures in the next 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Oh right, sorry. The match isn't officially over, but we're not going to see Union do that.
And you know, I do
hope
like
I
that
hope they do that.
Union has not done what they could have done and just sat all the way back. They have at least stayed in a position where they've been fighting for a lot of the game, even if it hasn't been super intense action, which I like. I think it would be very easy for Union to just be like, there's no way they're going to shoot us all the way down if we sit back and spawn, so let's do that. And they haven't done that. So that's something to be commended, because you hate to see that stuff.
Agreed. So here, 12th VA is actually trying to pushing in IVB though. Collector's
I think
really.
they're running past each other.
Collector's Ramboing.
It's not too far off from what he typically does.
Who just team killed that? Zapstar?
No,
I think Clink is team killing.
Clink was on the other team. Anyways, here's a charge. But yeah.
Wow, look at that pincer movement though. Eagle, pull up the flags again. That pincer movement on either side of the CSA there was beautiful for a second.
If only it was in a big open field, but that wouldn't happen in a big open field.
CSA is going to get wiped there again.
They are indeed. Wow.
And we're actually now more or less back in the position where I joined in the first game, where CSA has been pushed all the way back out of the cornfield, back into their own spawn, and USA is holding the extremely far forward
They got
positions.
him
My
so
point.
close. The difference is they have him close to breaking at this point. So
Yeah.
So
CSA is going to go breaking in a second.
JD's flanking. So
And,
because
that's most
pretty
definitely
well
going to take them down to last stand if they lose a significant amount of out of lines there.
yeah, since Pratly joined
Or
it this
breaking.
time last round, he's not going to leave the adverse. No.
Yeah, I'm done. My guys aren't winning. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
That's what I do in events as well. It's why I have a perfect record in this game.
CSA hit breaking. There's some Union mixed 12th VA guys charging out here, but they're all.
And I think
dying.
this is going to be. I think this is going to end up being a 2-0 for the. Is it 12th VA on the Union side right now? Yeah.
Union's taking this corner too. Well, I mean,
you never know, but I
it's
mean,
official
I
now.
think it's It's official that they've won the
3
round, but I'm
seconds.
saying a 2-0 in general. I mean, it'd be nice to
Oh,
see a
yeah.
2-0 for 12th PA, given how nicely they've played.
I
Looks like
agree.
they're just pushing straight to that snake.
Yeah, they have done a very good job here in terms of coordination. The team has moved very much in sync.
I mean, I think these teams that are on here work really well together every time that they play together. Sussy and 12th VA and a couple of these other guys.
And
Ninth
you know,
Corps is on
I
that
find
board.
30th Ohio in general are very easy to play with. I've never had
Oh
a problem
yeah, I
playing.
mean, I've had my drama with some of them, but you know, I still think they're pretty fun to play with. I hate them in pubs. They're everywhere.
Well, Bus hates
They're
everyone in
fun.
pubs. Everyone hates
Yeah,
everyone in pubs.
that's true.
Reinforcements are here.
What is
And
that?
that's just going to stir up more drama between regiments and pubs. You heard it here first.
I mean, I don't hate pubs, but I can't play as them in them as much.
Oh.
I can only handle 1 or 2 rounds.
You know, I actually like them, but
Go
the
ahead.
public officer disco. I love pubs, but I hate the public
Actually,
officer
my
Discord.
favorite moment in this game was we were playing Hills, and I was leading a pub game on Hills. I had a couple of 9th New York guys on with me as well, and the entire team went as 9th New York, and we had a giant line on the top of Hills. It was back in the
Oh.
200-player game, so we had 100
But you-
players on the top of the hill as 9th New York.
But you were doing the. You bet War of Rights GG was in there. Hit bot War of Rights YouTube channel.
have you seen that Pratly and Corden?
That's like the Russian one, isn't it?
Is it Russian?
I don't know about that.
Oh,
but it's
wow.
like-
Shouldn't
yeah,
he be fighting in Ukraine?
yeah,
Here,
it's like-
IVV's charging out, but no, it's called War of Rights GG. It just posts like like normal War of Rights gameplay, and some
Yeah.
of those videos get thousands of views. A lot of them do. I think the
Eagle,
most.
why don't your videos do
Yeah,
that?
shorts are
I don't
like
know.
nothing.
The BLN video last week got 2K.
It's weird. They're,
Hot
they're
damn.
shorts will be
CSA is
like-
in a hot fucking bottle for a fucking last stand in a couple of minutes here.
You know, that's a quote.
I think Union's doing the smart thing here. This is what Union should have done in the first game. They're sitting on the fence lines, shooting the shit out of CSA, who have no cover to take.
But the CSA aren't really putting themselves in a nice, big, beautiful line like we saw them do last time. But
I think
not-
at this point the CSA are kind of giving up the ghost a little bit. Like they know
Yeah.
this is over.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Pratly, on that. I think, but Union CSA is just not even.
I'll tell you what. As an enlisted man down here on the ground, this is a classic War of Rights match. We had a match like this the other day on Colquitt's. I don't think it was being recorded. I think it was on Sunday. But it's just bullets flying overhead, massive lines, you know, a large server, and some smart moves, and a relatively difficult map, I'd say, for both sides. It's a pretty even map.
I agree,
yeah,
I think this has been very atypical Eastwood skirmish gameplay as well. There's been very little fighting over the fence lines.
It's been pretty slow at times. A lot of shooting back and forth, and then some charges, but not that many. You know, I think it's a lot of these tickets. I felt like have either come from massive wipes every now and then the rest have become like from outliners and skirmishers, and then the rest is from shooting.
Yeah, and I actually think you often don't see it where shooting has a major impact on casualties. CSA did have a major impact on the USA casualties with shooting earlier in the game when they had them all funneled into that one spot on the corner.
I can't tell how Ardia's done.
Not great.
For them.
Not,
Well, and
rather
on a map
impactful.
like this, it's hard to see their shots whether they're hitting or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a
Everything's
bad idea to
always-
have 2-4 guys on Artie on this map, especially if you. But it's like you don't need 11 like they had last match, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think a couple guns here can be helpful, just to be pre-aimed on point and just blast the shit out of it when,
Oh, yeah,
when the
for
CSA
sure.
is holding it. Or positioned on the road, shooting down the road if there's a lot of fighting happening there.
But when you're gonna go in for a key charge, send that officer with the pistol in there.
Yeah, any pistol's a good pistol. Unless one of my company officers have it, because they all suck with the pistol.
That's one of my
Here-
favorite
here goes
things.
IVB.
About,
Yeah,
about a lot
I think they're just having
if
fun.
they're giving up, they're at last stand.
Clink is playing.
And this very much looks like one of these moments where the coordination is broken down on the CSA team, and so individual units are trying to do things to
No
to spice
complaining
things up.
this time, man. No one. I mean, hell. It's a balance of 5 players. It was 10 at the most for this side. It was 16 on the other team.
Yeah.
And the guys who are outnumbered by 16 still won it.
100%.
That's insane. And I think that artillery group, being 11 guys, had a big, a big thing on that.
100%. And I'm just saying this. They did not break the. I mean, the balance was down and up throughout that whole match. It wasn't 15. It was a 15 for a little while, but
at the
does
end,
not break
though,
the rule.
at the end.
Oh, the end though, when it mattered the most. Yeah. So
CSA about to hit last stand, and if I was Union at this point, I'd flex on them a little bit and keep shooting like this and try and kill as many of them as you can.
I would lighten up as well. Yeah, just lighten up.
FuseWall Jackson's having a voice. He's having a ball of a time.
Last stand. Will Union charge, or will they hold and keep shooting this out?
So
looks like they're happy.
This is beautiful.
Very good performance by the 12 VA today.
Well deserved advancement to the playoffs.
That was a good Artie shot. I see the flag go down from that. And these are the shots you can actually expect Artie to hit on this map. When you're in these positions with the CSA on the low stone wall, you can expect to actually hit those shots. What's difficult is when the Union gets through the core and there's just nothing you can hit as Union Artie.
Really good from Union. Unfortunate for CSA, just played loose, too loose.
Union, everyone.
And I think it's not obviously not a morale thing in terms of like the in-game morale system, but I think it's a morale thing just in terms of they had a great position and they lost it, and I think that's very damaging to how a team plays.
I just don't think they played as well together as the 12th VA group did. Like I said in the beginning of this, FuseWall puts together insanely detailed plans, and as I said, I'm typically against that. But they're very, very detailed and not convoluted, whereas a lot of those longer plans can be convoluted. Here's a big charge here. Here it comes. Irish music going off in the corn here.
Yeah, they're going in to finish off this round, get that 2-0 victory.
I don't know how many CSA guys there even are left.
Yep. Wow.
Doesn't seem like a lot. I'm not seeing any return fire coming out, really.
Gettysburg music.
Still half a stage ahead, really. Well, yeah. It's been over for a bit here.
Yeah.
Might as well give our thoughts on the match.
Bus, you have any?
Fucking fantastic from Union. FuseWall, congratulations to my sussy guys. Great job. Red, great job. Spitfuck, my first sergeant who leads on these Wednesday ones most of the time on the NCOs. You did a fantastic job. Everyone stuck together on the Union. I don't have too much to say about the CSA because I was on the ground a lot of it. No, obviously I'm not feeding information. It's nice to see from both perspectives how it's going on the ground and check on the morale of certain teams. Union morale a lot of that time seemed very high, and they were just bunched up so well with so many great meta moves, and not even meta moves, just classical War of Rights and skilled game moves where you're shifting point to point to point to point to point to area. Really good. That was a great match, and I think some fantastic commentary today. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you to our men in blue.
Thank you.
Desperately trying to salvage something here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pratly?
it's not that a controversial of opinion to just like, yeah.
Pratly?
Yeah, I think I agree with a lot of what Bus said, excepting obviously a couple of things. But yeah, I think the Union played very well there. I think the CSA were put in a very difficult position at the start of that map in terms of they had to win that quickly as defenders, and you just kind of don't have the game in your hand as defenders in that way. You can't dictate the pace in the same way. So I think that was a difficult situation to be put in. But where I do really agree with Bus, I think Union were very good at responding to threats. The team moved together. I rarely saw a unit on their own aside from that initial 12th VA push that got wiped. You know, aside from that, the Union stuck very close together. They got flanked at a couple of points and responded quickly and effectively every time, and there was never a point really where they seemed to be in any real danger.
Yeah, thank you. Corded?
There's not much left to say. I mean, Union artillery isn't very good on that map. Infantry kind of carried it, as they usually do. 12 did a good job on both maps. Classic aggression on the second one.
You heard it. You heard it here, guys. Corded hates
God bless
artillery.
her.
Bus hates
Yeah.
the police and
Hey,
Mississippians, and
listen,
I
God bless
hate my
our
own guys.
servicemen. I just hate paying taxes, man. God bless our boys in blue. I don't want to go that far. Hold on. Let me walk things back a little bit. I don't want to pay taxes.
Guys, this
I think-
video ended up not being posted because we walked it back that far.
we went back into political discussion.
Let's just talk the conversation in reverse, like reverse the words. But anyways, we're going to do one-on-one with the leaders of each leading regiment for each side. Hear their thoughts and remarks for tonight's event. Here we go with that. So here we are with the leader of the 12th Virginia tonight. They were leading the CSA Round 1, USA Round 2. Got a big 2-0 tonight, advancing to the quarterfinals where they'll be playing IVB in 2 weeks. So that'll be exciting. Initial thoughts for how you guys played tonight?
Yeah, Eagle, I tell you what, man, it was definitely hectic from start to finish. Not so much on the second map. We were kind of more relaxed. I was a little bit nervous for I will say this. I was a little bit nervous about that second map because, once the timer started ticking down past 25 minutes, and we were probably even on tickets at that point, maybe a little bit ahead. But it felt like we were almost on the same page as if it was the first round again, as if we were making mistakes as they did. Perhaps in the first, we were even on tickets at some point in the initial charges, and I just could not figure out how to break them, as we were on defense, wondering how we were still even on tickets when, we just absolutely decimated them. I felt like we had a pretty good stronghold on that left side. That was the plan. But, man, other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, it was a one hell of a fight. And, hats off to Zapstar 59th, 30th Ohio for coming out, and CQB, GB, 9th Corps decided to switch over because of balancing. I appreciate them for joining in the fight,
Yeah, cool. Thank you. So let's go to the first round. You guys were defending Eastwood Skirmish. What was your strategy to defend and win?
Yeah, so the strategy, I don't know if you caught it, but that right side was never meant to be held fully. I kept seeing drop flags over there, but it was basically like a nice center Dutch where we split off the buck and ball companies all over the left side. I called it the catch and harvest defense, where we wait for them. We position a little bit off from the corn, and we wait for them to pop out and silhouette themselves among the corn. It's pretty easy to see, especially with that sun. The weather was nice. I'm not going to get all into technicalities like that, but no, it's true. The sunlight kind of, reflected their blue coats and made them darker than the actual corn, so we were able to see them. And that was kind of the initial plan. We had 30th and myself. Sussy Brigade was supposed to be holding the right and to shift left, which they did. Appreciate them for that. For that Woods side. Now, we didn't find much success in the beginning. I felt the success was definitely I was not confident in that. I did not feel comfortable at all with how things were going. So we kind of adapted a couple more strategies. Again, just playing back, let them be the aggressive ones here, and we'll just play and position ourselves away from the corn so that we can't be flanked or taken off guard. And if anything, we'll get the first shots off. That's kind of all that mattered, really, is that we get the first shots off. And somewhere near the ending of that first round, our strategy went kaput. And eventually, we just had to form lines and counterattacks to secure that point if we were able to. And that was all coordinated on the fly. That all had to be coordinated on the fly. We kept taking hits. And, man, it was just one hell of a fight during that first round. It was just coordinate what we can, hold, and we go together. We move together, and that was the plan, and it worked phenomenally.
It was definitely thrilling watching that big line just consistently shooting down the whole Union team. They positioned themselves pretty poorly, and you guys just shot them up. So 2 questions I had for the first round. So you said you didn't want to defend that far right side by the snake fence on top of that mini hill. 8th Mississippi was there, and they were consistently getting wiped. Did you know that, or were they meant to be over there? Or
I was not made aware of all wipes. They told me at some point. I saw a flag, and I tried to communicate with them in Steam chat. This is no criticism towards 8th Mississippi at all. Perhaps I didn't hear them. So that might have been a misplay on my part, but from only my perspective, which, take this one with a grain of salt, I did not hear anything about happening on that right side. The idea was if they did get wiped on that right side, that Sussy would send a couple guys, maybe 8th Mississippi could communicate with Sussy Brigade and say, hey, can we get like 7 more guys to hold this off? And so I don't think part of that plan got got fully, encroached. But yeah, if they, after maybe the second or third time, I don't know how many times they got wiped over on that right side, but that was never meant to be held. It was more of like, if you can hold it, shoot them as they come across the field. Otherwise, just pull back and rally up with us.
Cool. Thank you. One other question I did have is, so you guys formed that big line at the end of the first round. It worked out in the end, which was kind of to my surprise and my co-commentator's surprise, just because how exposed you guys were. But you shot up the Union pretty well, so Union couldn't form up and charge. Was there any thought to kind of push out past point onto the snake fence by the corn where Union will normally hold on that map? Was there any thought to push out to there?
No, and I'll tell you why. For the simple reason that for them to reorganize, so we had a good idea of how good of shots we were getting in that big line. We would much rather let them trickle in from spawn and hold on to the hope that they can still hold on to that position. So we knew that they kind of felt panicked, perhaps, because I was definitely panicked holding that position. So we knew that they were probably also in a frenzy, like probably saying Bayos and go, something like that. That was a situation I had read, and hopefully my literacy is still good enough to suggest a hold like that. Otherwise, I am kind of charge shy, especially from that Miller's Cornfield charging on last stand. But this one I felt purely confident on for the sheer fact that they have to come out of the corn, in a very stringent column, 10 yards away from the stone wall that they have to climb over. And we're on point already. That point doesn't extend all the way down that corn fence. It's just, a little area right there. And at that point, to answer your question fully, it's just it was just a situation where it was the most ideal thing we could do with the amount of guys we got, and there was no idea of pushing past further because we knew they were already scattered and coming back from spawn, and we already had good angles on any point that they could reinforce. And so that's pretty much my piece on that.
All right, thank you. So now moving to that second round, what was your strategy to attack Eastwood skirmish and win?
The attack was the attack part was interesting because at some point we had found a period of time where we had almost mirrored the MSG strategy of going in, trying to get as many tickets as you can. But fortunately for us, we had the defense first, and we had won, so we weren't too obligated to really press the attack, so to speak. But we did want to go in and go through the corn. Pretty much all those attacks near the middle of the game, were made up on the fly. It was just a matter of coordination and going together is what mattered. And honestly, none of the attack plan went through except the first one. We had charged through the corn, right? And we had set up positions on their wood line, got a couple good shots. We were ahead. And, I think after that, it was just more of like holding a position where we could all rally with how little organizational UI we have in terms of officers, right? We only had 2 or 3 officers. So we all had to organize at one place, separate companies, and then go from there. 30th, you guys take left. The rest of us, we will go, hold off, and it eventually led to a successful attack, I think, against IVB nearing the middle of the game. But we didn't really have a name for the attack for the attack plan. I guess it was just called, shimmy and riddle them with bullets. But it was pretty much just go in, try to take as many tickets. We were able to slow the tempo, and this will be the last thing I say. We were able to slow the tempo somewhere near, again, the middle or to the end of the game, where we rallied up on the fence. We were able to probe attacks, make them attack us, which we found success from. And, everything pretty much went according to our coordination and not so much the plan. But it was pretty much the same as MSG, charge in, try to get as many guys as you can with buck and ball, and rally at some point anywhere over there. and it was a successful attack without the pressure. Fortunately enough for us, without the pressure of that timer or capping early on, which I think did lead to some, of MSG's sort of quickness or sort of panicky type vibe to cap point because they need that point. Unfortunately for us, we didn't have that burden. So
Yeah, indeed. Capping the point really hurt them, especially since they lost, because it really comes down to the quickness of winning the game. And MSG needed to be really aggressive on the defensive in that second round, but they weren't for the most part. But congrats on the 2-0. You have any other quick thoughts before we go over to the MSG leader for tonight?
I just wish an MSG a truly blessed day. I'm sorry for the loss, MSG. Truly, I am. But boy, I gotta say, Eagle, that to MSG and yourself, that was one of the hardest damn fights I've ever played in this entire game, standing today from a year ago today. That was some of the fiercest fighting near the end there to hold off on that last stand on our literal last foot, and honestly, I couldn't ask for a better event than this one. All my guys are ecstatic, and it was a good hell of a fight. So that's all I got for you.
All right. Well, thank you for taking your time to do this one-on-one, and now we'll talk to the MSG later. Thank you. All right, here we are with the leader for the Missouri State Guard tonight. Unfortunately, going out against 12th VA, but 2 great rounds nonetheless. So we're here to hear his thoughts and strategy for tonight. So what was your overall thoughts of tonight?
Well, Missouri State Guard and our team fought extremely well. I have no complaints at all. On the first map, MSG had a sharp rifle on that left flank of the Union left flank, top of the hill. We were giving them hell, and the main force went down the corn, did what they could do with the bucking ball. And, it was just a hard-fought match. We thought we had it to the very end, and 12th Virginia just pulled out. They fought better than we did tonight, and if we had to lose against anybody, it would be the 12th. So we're very happy to hear it. Good luck to the 12th, and we'll see you in the next season, boys, and we look forward to more. But in the CSA map, we fucking defended well. I can't say any more for the fucking entire CSA team and the Missouri State Guard as a whole. It's a Spec Ops team, First Missouri. It was our first time out, and we did absolutely fucking excellent. So shout out to y'all boys, First Missouri, 8th Missouri. Good job, boys, and ye fucking ye. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Cool. Well, glad to hear that. So let's go to the first round where you guys were attacking. What was your strategy to attack on Eastwood's skirmish, and how did you guys plan to win?
Oh shit. Okay. All right. So the main strategy was on the first map Union when we were attacking was MSG was going to take that left flank, top of the hill. We're going to use the top of the hill as a great shooting position. We had the Sharps rifles. We had a full fucking 20-man company. We're going to use that power advantage. We had the Missouri State Guard Special Ops team clear the fucking road and the fence obstacles to allow the artillery to move into that left eastern fucking field. And the rest of the main team went on that right flank into the corn. And that's where we proceeded to push. We had a bucking ball team of about 80 men. And we held pretty well. And we wore the CSA team down, I thought, good. And, they just came out better in the end.
So a couple questions I did have. So I think capping the point to try to make the black timer stop, I think it's a great idea. It's just unfortunately you lost and that came back to bite you. But at the end of the first round, Union, it looked like you guys were trying to reform kind of in the corn, but CSA just kept shooting you guys down. Were you trying to reform in the corn and then charge, or like what was your thought process at that moment?
So I think it was a miscommunication. If we had gotten wiped in the corn, we were supposed to regroup at the main spawn. But that was the game plan. But, everything fucking happens on the fly, and you adapt and overcome. So I think everybody just tried to regroup as they were, because it was a good position of concealment, but it was just bad cover. So I think that's all it was.
Fair enough. Yeah, so second round, what was your strategy? to defend Eastwood skirmish, and how did you try to win?
Yeah, so on the second round, when we were defending the CSA, our main strategy was we put 2 units to the left, 2 units to the right, and we were going to anticipated they were going to do a main push either one way or the other. So we were going to send at least 3 regiments one way left or one way right to counter the enemy movement. Missouri State Guard maintained that right flank on the CSA for the most part. I know that they came up and pushed, and the 1st Missouri Spec Ops was able to hold that right flank with themselves. The main left flank held fantastic in the corn and did what they could do, but just ultimately we got to overcome, and it was a hard fought battle either way. And my guys had a great time, and I hope everybody else did. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, there was a great 2 matches to watch. Is there any other comments for the overall event? Anything you want to shout out before we call it off?
I think that's pretty much it, man. We had a great time, BLN. Shout out to you, Eagle. Great job, man. And 12th Virginia, great fucking job. Y'all whooped our ass a little bit. That's all I can say. And good job, boys. We look forward to fighting you again, fighting by your side, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Yeah, thank you, Spartan. Appreciate it a lot. So next week on BLN, we'll see the 4th ranked 5th Virginia play the 5th ranked 5th Florida. Flash Sussy Light. It's going to be a great match. Like, comment, share, subscribe. For more, join our Patreon. Link is in the description to get perks like get videos before everyone else and see behind the scenes. But yeah, have a wonderful night, everyone, and we'll see you in the next episode. Have a good night.